Welcome to the Fleet Geeks Podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook? Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Fleet Geeks Podcast. You'll notice last week that the Department for Transport released their road safety strategy from January 2026. And I thought that I would do a podcast just giving the Fleet Geeks sort of summary if you weren't wanting to read the full 60-page document. Although I recommend that you probably do take a look at the whole document. It's probably worthwhile. 60 pages isn't too much in the great scheme of things. But I thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown based on my summary of what I think is going on. So what's changing? The big shift for me is really around blaming individuals, making sure that we design a system that anticipates human error. We need to make sure there's stronger intervention in a driving life cycle. So, for example, we're going to see a consultation on a minimum of 3 to 6 month learning period for learner drivers. There's going to be lower drink drive limits for novice drivers that's being explored, and mandatory eye testing for drivers over 70 as well. There's a bit of a spotlight on businesses. A national work-related road safety charter is likely to be piloted, which will directly affect organisations with fleets, grey fleet drivers and gig economy transport. So if you fall into any of those categories and you haven't got a road safety strategy, I really recommend having a look at Driving for Better Business, who I've had on the podcast before. I really think they've got some great assets to help with that. And then there's a clear expectation around employers owning road risk, not just drivers. That's really clearly stated in there. And it does look like there's going to be an enforcement with a bit more teeth. Tougher action on drink drive and drug driving, seatbelt offences, illegal number plates, lack of insurance and MOT, and possible licence and suspension powers pre-court for serious offences. There's a lot that stay the same.
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. Let me ask you something. How confident are you that the right version of your policies, procedures, and any compliance documents are actually being used right now? Because if your answer is fairly confident, that's not confidence, it's hope. At Flagship, our digital services, we help fleet operators move from folders, chaos, and crossed fingers to clarity, control, and confidence. Our platform, Optifile, is built specifically for fleets like yours. One source of truth, full version control, and clear accountability, and a simple way to prove your people have seen, understood, and signed the right documents every single time. No more, which version is this? No more, I think that's updated, and no more sleepless nights before an audit. If you're serious about running a safer, greener, greater fleet, it starts with getting your foundations right. Head to Flagship Partners and discover how, through our digital services like Optifile, we can tidy up the mess, reduce risk, and give you your time back. Because compliance shouldn't be a dark art, it should be crystal clear.
So foundations are reinforced rather than being replaced. Safe system approach remains central. So human error is inevitable when it comes to road safety, but death and serious injury aren't. Responsibility needs to be shared across road design, vehicles enforcement, and of course, education as well. Police, local authorities and partnerships are going to remain critical. Local delivery still matters. Think campaigns to continue. The Think Road Safety campaigns are continuing. Lifelong learning is staying as a core. We need to be better coordinated and formalised. Speed impairment, distraction is still part of the fatal force. So no softening there, just sharper tools and better data. So what's new? This is where the strategy becomes a bit of a game changer. So National Road Safety Investigation Branch, RSIB, a data-led body similar in concept to rare accident investigation, will focus on patterns, root causes, not blame, uses linked data and NHS data to drive prevention, not reaction. 18 mandatory new vehicle safety tech, including intelligent speed assistance, emergency braking that recognises vehicles, cyclists and pedestrians, drowsiness detection and event data recorders. And this is estimated to prevent 14,000 plus killed or seriously injured over the next 15 years, which is incredible. Micromobility regulation has finally been addressed. So legal framework plan for e-scooters and other low-speed, zero-emissions vehicles moves from an ignored reality into a regulated safety, which is interesting. And the language matters. Accident is being replaced with collision across government signage. Subtle but cultural, significant for accountability and victims. Headline targets, which is worth us quoting: 65% of people killed or seriously injured, 65% reduction of people killed or seriously injured by 2035. Remember, 5 people a day, every day, die on UK roads on average, and that's going to be a 65% reduction. So 2/3, fantastic target for 2035. A 70% reduction for children under the age of 16. So a really interesting strategy. So what about the timings? What's going to be changing in the timings? Well, in 2026, we've got a bit of consultation period, piloting and preparation. The learner driver period is going to go into consultation. The novice drivers and drink drive limit is going to be consulted on, as well as the older drivers for their mandatory eye testing. There's consultation on reforming motorcycle training, testing and licensing. And business and work-related driving, there's a pilot of this national work-related road safety charter between 2026 and 2028. Up until 2027, we're looking at infrastructure enforcement and system change. We're going to be seeing in 2026 some speed management stuff around setting local speed limits and speed and red light cameras. Rural roads, we're going to see new rural road categories for national use. And drink and drug driving enforcement consultation in 2026 on lowering drink drive limits. 2026, we've got the RSIB that I mentioned. Vehicle safety tech we're looking at in 2027. And then 2026 to 29, £24 billion of funding for motorways and local roads. Fantastic. And 626 million has been allocated to Active Travel England between the 26 to 27 and the 29 to 30 period to improve safety for walking, wheeling and cycling. So lots to think about, really, lots to take away. I've created a fleet operators checklist, which I'll put in the show notes for people. And I really do recommend, if you've not had a chance to read the road safety strategy, these are really just the highlights for this podcast. I'd like you to take a listen. Obviously, have a little look through the road safety strategy yourself. A short, sharp podcast from me, giving you some of the key bits or the highlights of information on our take on the road safety strategy 2026. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope it's been interesting, and I've got some really exciting podcasts for the next couple of weeks where I've interviewed Waitman's solicitors. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate you being part of the podcast. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.